This morning, we introduced many of you to a giant of jazz, Arturo Sandoval. He was honored this month by the Kennedy Center for his contribution to American culture through the performing arts. The ups and downs of his life is just incredible, and his escape from Cuba read like a movie script. And actually, they did make a movie from his life story. Sandoval told us he is living his American dream, grateful for every moment, and grateful to jazz, which literally helped save his life. We met Arturo Sandoval in his Miami happy place, where we learned trumpet mechanics.
Wow. If you blow this, only blow, doesn't make any sound. We produce a sound between lips.
If you could describe what the Kennedy Center honor means to you through music, what would you play?
Very easy. I strongly believe the most important word is the word freedom.
Only in America, he says, came the freedom to write 48 albums, win nearly a dozen Grammys and Latin Grammys, earn the Presidential Medal of Freedom, and start a foundation for young musicians.
The salt and pepper and sauce and everything of jazz, the main ingredient is the improvisation. And for me, jazz is synonymous of freedom.
It's a freedom he didn't have in Cuba before he defected in 1990.
This kind of oppression, to really understand, you have to suffer in your blood.
Sandoval grew up dirt poor in a house with a dirt floor. He left school at 10 years old to work. How did you even get to the trumpet?
Oh my God. They opened like a kind of little academy of music. But I said, man, that's the one I like. I like the sound.
But after Cuba's communist revolution, he could only play what the government allowed. Do you remember the first time you heard jazz or heard about jazz?
A guy who was a journalist in Cuba, he said, hey, you ever hear any jazz music? I said, what is that? He played that thing for me, and I couldn't believe it. And I will never forget that moment. I said, man, what's that? And he said, jazz.
But jazz landed him in jail during his mandatory military service.
They put me in jail 3.5 months because I was listening to the voice of an enemy. They call it a Yankee imperialism.
Yankee imperialism. As depicted in For Love or Country, the Arturo Sandoval story, an HBO movie about his life starring Andy Garcia, he found a workaround.
How are you going to get him to support a jazz band?
Never call it jazz.
You'll need some kind of camouflage, you know?
Congas.
Come on, let's go!
The film also reenacts his first encounter with his future wife.
I'm with him.
Come on! I've been here all along. Right here. She's with me.
By the way, what's your name?
And 49 years later, Marianela is still by his side. This is the other prominent figure in Sandoval's life.
John Gillespie, his nickname was Dizzy. He was anything but dizzy.
On the American trumpeter's first day visiting Havana, Sandoval offered to be his chauffeur, never mentioning that he too played trumpet, until Gillespie saw for himself.
He opened his eye like this, and then he said, what the heck, my drivers do with the trumpet? Somebody said, no, Mr. Gillespie, he's a trumpet. He said, hell no, he's my driver.
For 10 years, the Cuban government allowed Sandoval to tour overseas with Gillespie, and in 1990 made a one-time exception for his wife and son to meet him in London.
The next day, early morning, I went with Mr. Gillespie to the American embassy asking for political asylum.
You were able just to get into the embassy?
Oh, I came with Mr. Gillespie.
So they opened the door.
Oh, you bet.
But the Cuban government found out.
But when my wife called me, yelling and crying and things, I went to Dizzy Gillespie's room, I wake him up, 2 in the morning. And he said, give me my wallet there. And then he took one of those business cards, and call the White House.
Just months later, Sandoval was on stage in Washington, D.C. at the Kennedy Center Honors, paying tribute to the man who helped save his life, his mentor, who he called Maestro.
Incredible blessing for me, you know, to become a close friend of your hero.
Do you still practice?
I have no choice.
Even when you're a virtuoso?
No. Don't buy that thing. You know, the people talk about virtuoso, the people talk about
Prodigy.
talent. BS.
What do you mean BS? You're talented.
BS. I'm dedicated.
Dedicated and grateful for what he calls his blessings in America.
Bravo.
Oh, I'm so happy you
bravo.
liked
Well
it. I mean,
done.
any story
Well done.
about Arturo Sandoval is going to be incredible because he's incredible. His wife, too, gave us such a warm welcome. She was cooking all morning for us. And we had to
Yeah?
stop the shoot. So
Wait, you got some home-cooked food?
We had home-cooked Cuban food, and we got together like a family, our crew and Arturo and his
my.
wife, to eat together. You know, it
That's
was
amazing.
just an amazing memory. But that White House phone call
Yeah.
eventually made its way to Dan Quayle, then vice president, who helped get Arturo and his family
I just
here.
fall in love with that man. I love his appreciation for freedom, and also it's all about dedication,
Yes.
not
Yes.
talent. You got to work.
Exactly.
That's right.
All right, well, you can watch the annual 47th Annual Kennedy Center Honors on Sunday, December 22nd at 8 p.m., 7:30 p.m. Central, right here on CBS, and streaming on Paramount+.